Hey, what's up guys, it's Joe. I just want to show you this quick demo of the controller stuff I'm working on while this loads the screen for Crash Bandicoot Racing. So Raspberry Pi Zero W, it's like 20 something dollars on Amazon. I have it configured as a composite USB device, so it actually shows up as a USB Ethernet and USB MIDI device. The Ethernet part is cool. I didn't know iOS even had this, but if you go into settings, it actually shows an Ethernet device with a different IP address. And you actually connect to it, and it has Avahai to do Bonjour advertising of Samba and AFP services. So actually, in File Browser Pro, wherever the app is that you can get Samba files and stuff from, it actually shows up. So I have like some ROMs on here, and you can download them over the local network. So that's kind of cool, actually. Just one other feature that I didn't know you actually could do with USB. Anyway, so this is connected in right now. It's already paired. It's connected in, obviously, over Bluetooth to the Raspberry Pi Zero, and then it's sending. It's a small Python script. Actually have it running in the console. There's a way to make it automatically run when I detect a Bluetooth device, but basically this is the script right here. So as I push buttons, you'll see it prints values out for the joysticks, prints a lot of data out. But anyway, those get converted to MIDI messages over USB, and then basically this is, you can make the USB to name anything you want. So it's called like Provenance USB controller or something like that, and then the app is just always looking for a MIDI device with that name, and as soon as it finds it, connects it and starts sending the messages as if it was like an IK controller, for instance. It's a little hacky right now the way it is. It's not quite as organized as the iCade stuff is, but it could easily be at some point. Anyway, so you see as the controls are working, I don't really know what else to really show on that. Crash Bandicoot is one of the few games that actually uses the joystick. I was actually surprised at how many racing games only use the D-pad. Okay, so yeah, so that joystick is actually pretty sensitive. You can just kind of nudge it. It basically feels like a real PlayStation controller. All this stuff kind of works the way it should. So, I know you have pause and select, which is great, compared to the MFI controller. Then I have, actually, the interesting thing is you actually can connect into the center PS button. So I have it just like the button on the MFI controllers does, where it bounces back to the menu. Probably the best thing to show off is like how well you can play GoldenEye now. Actually, I was playing with, this is the fork that Brain DX did, a Glide N64 for video, and I was actually playing with some of the settings. I think some of the stuff he had in there wasn't quite correct, it wasn't saving the settings correctly. So I'm playing around with some of the video settings on this. So actually we're doubling resolution now from the original rendering size of the N64, and I added some texture filtering and some other features they had. I don't know if that makes a difference, but the nice thing about it is the joystick actually is pretty damn accurate. Pretty fine controls. Of the cursor there. So yeah, it seems like much more accurate than I was having with MFI. Maybe our MFI map is a little bit poorer on N64, but they always seem a little bit erratic. Anyway, gliding improvements are fantastic. We have the skies rendering correctly in GoldenEye now. There's no, you just jump frames in the loading here, was loading the scene. No problems with that anymore. I have the C controls mapped to the right joystick, which works really well for GoldenEye, because then you can just like strafe and look up and down with it. Though I'd probably switch it to the other controls and settings, but. And then Z is either of the two bottom, and then the regular L 1 and 2 are the regular shoulders from 64. So it actually works out pretty well. You can get much better control. Actually, you can snipe with the pistol here, which I had a really hard time doing with the MFI controllers. They just seem a little more jumpy on the joypads. There's one more quick demo. Mario Kart. This one for the power slides uses the shoulder triggers a lot. Okay, one more demo, Mario Kart. So, joystick, pretty accurate here. I have my triggers for Z and R1 and R2. Takes a little bit of nimble work to get R2 is Z, or either R2 or L2, or both are acting like Z at this point. So just kind of put a second finger underneath and drag it. But, graphics here look fantastic. It's iPad Pro 2, so pretty much the fastest one you can get at this point. But that being said, the screen is huge too. It's pushing a lot of pixels. I have everything upscaled 2 times. I think the 3x filter, whatever features they had. Some stuff we haven't activated before. So it looks pretty good.